Now, let's study the last organ of the respiratory system, lungs. The lung is covered a serous membrane that is a visceral layer of the pleura. The structures of the lung can be divided into two portions, parenchyma and interstitial substance. Parenchyma is also divided into two portions, collecting portion consisting of lobar bronchus, segmental bronchus, small bronchus, bronchial and terminal bronchial. Respiratory portion consisting of respiratory bronchial, alveolar duct, alveolar sac, and alveolus. The whole parenchyma looks like an inverted tree, bronchial tree. The lung is parenchymatous organ. Each of the bronchioles, together with its branches and alveoli, forms a pulmonary lobule. Pulmonary lobule is the basis of the lung pathological changes. Conducting portion. About conducting portion, we should pay more attention to the change rule of wall structures. From small bronchus, bronchial to terminal bronchial, the diameter of the lumen is gradually smaller. There are also three layers in the wall. Above each layer, we should focus on one structure at least. In mucosa, the number of goblet cells is gradually decreased. At terminal bronchial, disappear completely. In submucosa, mixed glands decrease gradually. At terminal bronchial, disappear completely. In adventitia, hyaline cartilage decreases gradually. At terminal bronchial, disappear completely. But smooth muscles gradually increase. At terminal bronchial, smooth muscles form the complete circle. Small bronchus. The square shows the hyaline cartilage plate. Bronchioles. Because of the contraction of the muscles, the mucosa projects into the lumen to form pellicle. Terminal bronchioles. Lamina propria is composed largely of smooth muscles forming complete circle. In case of allergic reaction, contraction of smooth muscles leads to asthma. Respiratory portion. Respiratory portion is capable for air exchange. First segment, respiratory bronchial. Respiratory bronchial is 1 to 4 millimeters in length and 0.5 millimeters or less in diameter. The wall is populated with more and more alveoli and lined with ciliated cuboidal epithelium, and cilia may be absent in more distal portions. This is the cross-section of the respiratory bronchial. You can see the wall is not complete. Many alveoli open to the wall. Alveolar duct. They have almost no walls, only alveoli as their boundary. Alveolar ducts are lined with simple cuboidal or attenuated squamous epithelial cells. Support for the duct and its alveoli is provided by elastic and collagenous fibers. Smooth muscle bundles appears as sphincter-like muscle named knob. Square shows the alveolar duct. The arrows shows knobs. So knobs are the distinct feature of the alveolar duct. Alveolar sac. They share the opening of several surrounding alveoli. The interior of an alveolar sac has a honeycomb appearance. collagenous, elastic, and reticular fibers encircles the opening of each alveolar sac. Smooth muscle fibers are entirely lacking. The square shows the alveolar sac. It has no knobs. Alveolus. It is the terminal part of the bronchial tree, the main place where the air exchanges occur. An individual alveolus is a thin-walled, hexagonal open-topped compartment, enabling air to diffuse freely into the cavity of the alveolus. Diameter of an alveolus is 200 to 250 micrometers. Each wall is generally common to two neighboring alveoli and is thus termed the interalveolar septum. An alveolar septum consists of two thin squamous epithelial layers, between which lie capillaries, elastic and collagenous fibers, and fibroblasts. Alveolus consists of alveolar epithelial cells, two types: Type 1 cells and Type 2 cells. Type 1 cells are squamous, covering 95% of the alveolar surface, 0.1 to 0.2 micrometer thick, with round nuclei. Type 1 cells provide a barrier of nominal thickness that is readily permeable to gases. Type 2 cells are secretory cells, round in shape, containing multi-lamellar bodies, which are capable to release to the surfactant. They are also the stem cells. A surfactant is briefly defined as a material that can greatly reduce the surface tension. This is the EM of Type 2 cell. The square shows lamellar bodies, which contain concentric or parallel lamellae limited by a unit membrane. The main components are phospholipids, glycosaminoglycans, and proteins. The lamellar bodies give rise to a material that spreads over the alveolar surface, providing an extracellular alveolar coating, pulmonary surfactant that lowers alveolar surface tension. Alveolar septum and alveolar pores. Alveolar septum contains alveolar capillaries, elastic and reticular fibers, and macrophages. Alveolar pores are 7 to 9 micrometers in diameter. They are the windows between the adjacent alveoli that can equalize the air pressure. You can see elastic fibers in the alveolar septum, stained in purple. Heavy smoking can reduce the elasticity of elastic fibers and cause emphysema. The arrows show the dust cells. They are macrophages that engulf more dust particles. Heavy smoking can damage the dust cells and reduce their defensive functions, cause lung cancer. Blood-air barrier. Blood-air barrier consists of surfactant, Type 1 cells, fused basal laminae, and capillary endothelium. The square shows the blood-air barrier. Now, let's look at the clinical case. First question. The lung belongs to the respiratory system. Secondary question. The incubation period of novel coronavirus pneumonia is generally 1 to 14 days. Most patients may have symptoms in 3 to 7 days, such as fever, fatigue, and dry cough, etc. Okay, that's all. Thank you.